Welcome to Unpo Nation. It's Lambo Sport Sports presented by Sideline Sports Network. We're going to be talking about college football. Arizona State is rebuilding the football program. They got Kenny Dillingham as the new head coach, who was a former Oregon offensive coordinator. They got some stuff going on in recruiting violations. They will not play in the bowl game this year. They have a self-imposing one-year ban. They have severity of evidence that is going on in the NCAA case against the school's football program that's been happening, I think, since during COVID and longer. And stuff now came out since, former head coach Herm Edwards, who got fired 3 games of the season last year after, losing to Eastern Michigan. The investigation is, allegations to, recruiting violations that basically scattered many of the best program's best players. First of all, the investigation comes from a document that was sent to the NCAA on May 31st of 2021. It was a recruiting violations, including persistent ignoring of the restrictions during COVID-19 and the recruiting dead period. So basically, maybe a similar situation that Tennessee went through, but Tennessee kind of got a get out of jail free card. One of the allegations is that a dead period, including a mother of a player purchasing tickets for travel to campus, staff members giving tours up to a dozen recruits in vans when visitors were not even, allowed on campus. They were prohibited during the time, and a position coach working at a prospect in a park while he's in town evaluating the video of an elite workout in an offensive meeting. Which is pretty stupid. So the fallout from the case has already been, resolved. It's already led to 5 full-time coaches leaving the staff or being fired. Former defensive coordinator Antonio Pierce, who was, he played a long NFL career with the New York Giants. He won a Super Bowl. They beat the Patriots. He's alleged so-called the ringleader who created a culture in which rule breaking was rewarded. Pierre and a former offensive coordinator, Zach Hill, were among the coaches who are intended to no longer be on the staff because of the Herm Edwards firing. The time of the bowl ban was very difficult for the school team, which was informed early this morning, just days before they play on Thursday night when they play Southern Utah. Kenny Dillingham, who was the new head coach, who was a former offensive coordinator, he got a contract extension as well due to the bowl ban. So, it hurts for the team, and they have a lot of seniors on the team as well. So they have 20 players that are going to play their final season, which are seniors. The goal was, to get into that bowl game, but that will not somewhat happen. So Dillingham will turn around the program. I think he'll do all right. I think Arizona State will be successful. But more than 50 players from Arizona State recruited by Dillingham did not get recruited by Edwards or his staff. The bowl ban is expected to eventually result in a 1-year contract extension, like I mentioned, who also had protections built into his 5-year deal tied into the NCAA investigation. The bowl ban, like I said, involves something what Tennessee faced a couple weeks back. Volume allegation in his recent NCAA case where the Volunteers escaped a postseason ban and they were only fined $8 million. The decision prompted speculation that bowl bans may be a acquainted tool for punishment and NCAA enforcement. As recent decisions were made in the backdrop of NIL rules have changed the confidential things that are going on as well. And then with the fairness of the punishment, those are not connected to alleged violations have emerged as a hot button issue. Arizona State's decision to self-impose this punishment hints that the severity of what is expected to be alleged by the NCAA enforcement. This is what is expected for the punishment coming for the Sun Devils, who 9 major NCAA violations exceeded that many other major conference school and individual coaches who are under that investigation. As of now, it's still somewhat unclear if Arizona State was offered a similar fine that Tennessee was issued, but it's notable that Arizona State Athletic Department resources are not the same financial hemisphere as Tennessee. Obviously, the department spokesperson did decline to speak about it as well. They won't comment on it because it's still an ongoing investigation, and allegations have yet to be delivered. But Herm Edwards is no longer coaching. He's not going to return to college coaching as long as Antonio Pierce. Herm Edwards is now on ESPN as an analyst who was hired in November. Returned to the role he had from 2009 until, he got hired by Arizona State. The notice of the allegations, like I said, are expected to be delivered at some point during the middle of the season. The case is expected to feature an unusual number of former coaches and staff members cooperating as the original dozers came together as a text chain among Arizona State coaches in shock over the number of rules violations happening in the program. So they probably got more than 9 recruiting violations. They included specific rare NCAA cases, such as a picture of Edwards taking a person alleged to be a top 100 recruit for a tour around the Arizona State weight room during a dead period. The text chain became the basis of information that was brought to NCAA. The dossier included evidence with pictures and documentation of flights for recruits arranged by assistant coaches and the mother of a former player booking trips for recruits and their families. So off this, you just got to follow the rules. But everybody thinks it's a shortcut around life. And with the NCAA, like I said, I understand the NCAA can be tough, it can be hard, but do you not understand that the NCAA does not care about these kids at all? Whether they did right or did wrong, doesn't really matter. They don't care about these kids. The NCAA doesn't care about anybody. The NCAA wants money. But this is I think they did this, obviously, because a lot of information. This has been going on for 3 years, and now it came out. So, Arizona State, you got to be careful with your recruiting violations. You can't beat Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee, they escaped that, but you're not Tennessee. You're Arizona State. You came off of one of the worst losing seasons you had in your entire career. So, Arizona State, watch out, be careful. I think Arizona State with Kenny Dillingham, I think they'll do right. They'll turn around the program. But with recruiting violations like that, it's where you lose recruits as well. So, how good will Arizona State do? Will they overcome this ineligible self-bowls pan? We'll see how this goes. But Totem Pole Nation's Lambo's World of Sports, continued by Silent Sports Network. Tune in. We'll catch you later on.